Good morning to you and welcome to the Brightside. It's Carol and Shehzad, and joined in the studio by a very special guest in the form of DeAundre Woods, who plays Aaron Burr in Hamilton, the musical. Welcome,
Thank
Aaron.
you.
Oh, Dre. I was going to call you Aaron.
That's fine.
Welcome, Dre.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, such a pleasure to have you here. You've been in Singapore now since April?
Yes, we have. April 16th, I believe we started.
Yeah, every night, bringing the energy.
Yeah.
It's Aaron Burr to Hamilton. How do you find that energy? How do you tap into it? My goodness.
It's quite bizarre actually. It's some days you don't have the energy, you know, but we always feed off the crowds, and the crowds have been so amazing here. So we're just so grateful to have people who still love the show and are still pouring their heart and energy into to enjoying it.
It's got such a cult following.
It does.
Loads of people talking about it, buzzing, taking pictures, videos. We just can't get enough.
Yeah.
You know, people have heard about Hamilton, right? And they don't know necessarily what it's about. You know, this brand Hamilton, it's so big now.
Yeah, it's huge.
And it's about American history.
It
right?
really is, yeah.
And that's not necessarily something that people might immediately respond to. You know, it's such a niche topic, I guess.
For sure.
Right? And that, you know, you're going on an international tour, you're going around the world. How is it that something like this musical has appealed to the masses? Now, I'll quickly say this. It's well known on our show that I'm not a musicals person.
He is
Really?
not.
Yeah, not at all.
We've changed your mind, I think. Huh?
And I said this right after the show. This is the only musical I've enjoyed from start to finish.
Whoa.
So if it can appeal to someone like myself who never goes to musical, only forced to by my wife,
Yeah.
that is something. So I'm curious to know, what is it about this musical that appeals to everyone?
Well, I think it's exactly that. It's the music, and I think that's what a lot of the times I find. You know, we've been in different countries, and obviously coming from America, American history is a little bit more understood there. But music is a universal language, and I think that kind of grabs everyone. And you don't have to be a politician to do this musical, which is nice. It's really about humanity, and there's such complex characters, a beautiful language, and the poetry that Lynn has. You know, he's really taken an underdog story and made it, I think, relatable to a lot of people who see themselves in these characters. And I think it works on all of us. You know, I still get chills listening to some of this music, and I don't know American history at all. But when you realize that this is all about heart and humanity, I think everybody relates to that. So
You know what? I'm getting goosebumps just hearing you
I was about
describe
to
it
say,
that way.
You kind of lit up as well when you were talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've been with this particular tour for 5 years, and
Yes.
you're still so passionate about it.
yeah.
What is the one thing that gives you that sense of life and that buzz? When
you
you
know,
think about your character in the musical.
when we talk about energy, and like last night, you know, it's only Wednesday, but you know, we've been doing the show for a long time. So you think Wednesday, it's only the second show of the week, but we get a glimpse of who's sitting in the audience, and there's these two little kids on the front row who are just like gleaming, you know, and they're just like so excited. So many people have anticipated the show being here. So anytime that I'm not feeling necessarily having the energy myself, I look around to my counterparts, my other fellow actors, and also to the audience who, like I said, they love the show so much it reminds you of why you fell in love with the show.
Wow.
And I always try to just hold on to that. So that's kind of a nice reminder in the mix of all the exhaustion to know that you're doing something really, really special for someone, and that someone's going to leave here a changed person after they hear, you know, what we have to say.
I feel such a sense of responsibility now as the audience. You know, I got to bring it too.
Yes, you do.
Well, they feed
we
off it,
encourage
right? You feed off that.
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
don't be a sloppy audience member.
It's so polite sometimes, which is nice because there's a lot of words to catch, and I get that.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we don't hear enough feedback, and we're like, oh, they don't love it, but people are really just listening.
They're taking it in.
For sure,
processing. And those are some beautiful moments as well. It's like, hey, I didn't think about it that way. Or,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that was a moment.
Exactly.
It's precious.
It's
yeah?
real. It's live theater.
It is. We are chatting live with DeAundre Woods, who plays Aaron Burr in Hamilton the musical. Come join us. We're live on Facebook at facebook.com/1FM913. And of course, don't forget to send us your questions as well, either via WhatsApp or as a comment on our Facebook live stream. Back with more of Dre in a bit.
1FM. Good times, greatest hits.
So it is always a pleasure to have a Vice President of the United States with us here in the studio. Might be a first for us. Now,
Hey,
Aaron Burr,
speak
of
it.
course, is a historical character that DeAundre plays. Tell us now about the set of Hamilton, and can you describe your costume and how wearing it kind of eases you into your role.
Yeah, it's so much detail that goes into this show. It's quite amazing because the set is quite simple. Actually, there's only 2 levels. You know, there's the main stage and then the surround where a lot of the extension of the storytelling is placed. But yeah, I think the main gem is the turntables, which is a reference to the DJ turntables, right?
Oh, wow.
And also a metaphor for time.
Yeah.
And if you notice in the show, you'll see Burr actually going against
Time.
the turntable.
Yeah.
So he's going against time. He's going against what
His
sort of the
beliefs.
ideology of what
Yeah.
he's believed up until that point in the show. And so it's so amazing. One of my favorite things though is if you look, there's these little like circular hooks on the stage where there's some speakers that are stored in there. But yeah, it's so amazing. The costumes are so hot.
I can imagine.
So hot here.
They do
they're
look like they have
drenched.
quite a number of layers.
There are a lot of layers. You know, there's tights and there's stockings and there's a mic on you, but it's really nice. It puts you in the era of what that time was
Yeah.
like. But I never will understand a beanie in summertime, so I always feel bad for Hercules Mulligan, and I'm glad I don't have to wear that anymore, especially with the curls on top of my head now. So, yeah.
You got nice hair, I gotta say.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
All right, so we're talking about the DJ turntables, and Hamilton is about wordplay, battle rapping, and rhyming. And the actors, you guys, you make it look so easy and so effortless. I gotta say, like the first 10 minutes, I was just like, I gotta tune into that
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really quick and it's really witty and it's very fast.
For sure.
And after 10 minutes, I'm like, boom! Oh my god! And then I look back and I'm like, oh my god, that's what he was talking about.
You're a smart audience member.
What?
Yeah.
Because I'm like thinking about
Yeah.
what's just happened here, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa. And then it plays into the next thing and the next thing. So that's really cool. What does it take to prepare for a role like that?
Well, usually when the show is fresh for everyone, we would take 6 weeks. But I mean, with this company, we had 2 weeks. We had all done the show before, which is nice. But honestly, once you learn it, it's so catchy. I mean, kids know it better than us sometimes. I mess up words on stage, and I get a comment in my Instagram that, "Oh my God, I love the show, but my favorite part was when you said this instead of this." And I'm like,
Wow.
really? But it reminds you that everyone's really listening, so I don't mind it.
Is there room for ad lib or improv?
No, not really. We always call it the train. You know, it's
Yeah.
like if you miss it, you just gotta get back on. I messed up words all the time, and it really shocks you because it's like you get right back into it.
Yeah.
But it's so
But that's live.
it makes sense,
Live theater.
and it's real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think people enjoy seeing that we're human.
Yeah.
which is nice.
True.
Hey, we mess up live stuff here all the time. Don't
Okay.
worry about it.
Hey, speak for yourself, Shehzad Haq.
You always feel bad because you only get one chance to do it, but most people know the show. You know,
Yeah.
most people have seen
Yeah.
it already, so they have an idea of what we're saying. But yeah, it's a lot of words. I think there's like 45 words or something per.
Minute.
I think
Second?
Live Jeff has the most. Like he does 17 words in 3 seconds.
Wow.
In
Whoa.
Guns and Ships, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's a test.
It is.
It's a test of the mind and the memory for sure.
And my hearing, because I've been wearing headphones my whole career, and my
Yeah.
hearing's not the greatest. So
Okay.
I was straining to listen to. I want to make sure I get every single word that you guys were
You
saying.
got to come see it again too. You got to see it more than once.
Second time round.
Yeah.
I think you're right because it's the kind of play where when you watch it the next time, you're like, I have a different interpretation,
For
or I
sure.
fully
Yeah.
understand what that meant now.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a really cool play.
It changes
on so
all the
many
time.
levels.
It does.
Yeah,
It's the
does.
reason you can do it for 5 years. I will say. That's why I've been doing because I'm still learning stuff, which is awesome.
What aspect of Aaron Burr do you connect with the most?
Because he's a conflicted character.
He is
He's
very
so
mercurial. He reminds me of
complex.
McHugh's show in like Romeo and Juliet.
Oh yeah.
Just very mercurial.
He's so. I think my favorite thing, having played Hamilton, his arc is so slow. Right, he really doesn't like blossom till Room Where It Happens in the second act. But coming from a family that's religious driven, and having this greater sense of purpose, and I think we paint him as the villain, but he's not at all. He made a mistake, and we've all made mistakes, and I think
Yeah.
that's the thing I really connect to, is that this idea that you can do 1,000 things right, but the one time you go,
And people
you go
judge you
left.
for that. And
they-
then you're
they
the
hold on
bad
to that.
guy for the rest of history.
And that's what's whole heartbreaking. I think that's been my favorite thing. People always like, oh, we were pulling for Burr. Like when you play Burr, we pull for Burr. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, I'm really trying to show you that the idea of just holding on to what you really believe in, not falling into the temptation around you, and just really sticking to your morality is it pays off in the end. And
Yeah.
if you don't, it also pays off. But we wouldn't also have Hamilton if he didn't make the mistake. So sometimes I'm kind of
Right.
glad that he shot Hamilton. Sorry to say that, but it just can't believe that this
was one
story
of
is real.
That was his bugbear. Why do you shoot him?
Is that what's going on? But we won't spoil it. We don't want to spoil it. We're not
Yeah, I'm
gonna
sorry.
spoil it.
Sorry, but I say it in the first number, so it's not a spoiler.
Yeah, it's
That's-
okay.
that's
We can't
true.
change
The
The
history.
That's
at
best
this
stories
point
are the ones
anyway.
that you know how are going to end, but you just
Yeah.
can't believe that it's going to end
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
you
You're
know?
kind of wishing during the musical, like maybe he'll change his mind. Is there,
Right?
Is there a different ending tonight? Like choose your own adventure. You go on a different path just for Wednesday.
Yes,
I want to
yes.
talk to him about his dueling technique, but that's another.
Okay, we're heading back live on air, so do join us there. We do have a question on WhatsApp, actually.
come on.
So we'll get into that in just a bit. It's Baxter and True Faith here on 1FM 91.3, Good Times, Greatest Hits. And maybe that's what it takes to play a role for about 5 years. We are chatting this morning with DeAundre Woods, who plays Aaron Burr in the musical Hamilton, which is currently at the Sands Theatre over at MBS. Been showing since 19th April, and we have a last couple of days to go.
So sad.
You are? Yeah? It's a role that you're stepping away from?
Yeah, I'm just sad that I hope people get to see it. You know,
yeah.
You don't get a chance like this to have a show from the States in a country like this too. Beautiful country. So I hope people who haven't seen it will come back. We've had some people come see it 10 times. So you're really slacking if you haven't seen it at least once.
Wow.
Well, it's
Actually-
a play that's actually converted Shehzad Haq, so it's a good play.
And that is a great sign. Listen, we've got someone here, Dennis. Okay, he said
Dennis.
he's watched
What's up,
it
Dennis?
3 times now.
Yeah.
Once in London and twice here in Singapore. His question is, why does Burr have a particular way of moving and gesturing? Like there's a dance across the stage at the start with the sisters, and then these moves in the room where it all happens. Do all the Burrs across all the productions learn the same gestures?
That's a really great question. Burr specifically for me, his animal was always kind of like an owl. He's always like kind of head on a swivel, right? He's kind of very, he's just very aware of everything that's going on around him. And the way I interpret is that he's like a snake. He's kind of sliding in between the cracks of everything, right? He's just getting by. He's always there on stage. I don't know if you watch, but if you watch a lot, Burr will say something, he'll introduce someone, and then he'll just go chill in the back as the narrator. But I love to physicalize him because he is the talk less, smile more character. So he doesn't get to say much. So for me, trying to portray this sense of stillness but with some engagement has always been fun to play with, because stillness is also an action, and people will kind of interpret it as, oh, he's not doing anything, but no, he's really just waiting for everyone to sort of like die. Essentially, he's just trying to survive. His idea is that if I outlive these people, then it's only right that I'll be the one to take the crown.
You know what?
So-
He kind of sounds Singaporean. He's just trying to survive.
He's a pragmatist.
And all of them are, but
Yeah.
he's not like Hamilton. He has a lot more to lose than Hamilton. He's a legacy to protect. So, in that sense, when you have something to lose, your risk factors are a lot lower than someone who has nothing to lose. You know, life is not as valuable in a sense.
He's not
which is
going to
also
throw away
beautiful.
his shot.
He ain't throwing away his shot, which is
Yeah.
what happens in Room Where It Happens, which is why he's jumping on tables now and all these things. So you kind of get a sense of sort of like the room is on fire.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm imagining in my head.
I love it when Aaron Burr comes in. It's like, wow, everything comes alive again.
It truly does.
Yeah, it does.
It comes with the role too. They wrote this show so well.
Yeah.
A lot of the work is already done. We just got to show up and pour our hearts into it, which is nice.
Talking about the show, like it's actually streaming on Disney Plus, right? So a
sure
lot of
is.
people would have seen the TV version of it, but how is it different? Like the live stage setting, how does it enhance the depth and the scale of a production that can't be replicated on screen?
I mean, it's nothing like live theater. It's nothing like you get goosebumps, right? Like you have the audio, you have the. I mean, unless you have like a really great sound system at home, it's nothing like being in the room and hearing all of these different textures. But also the Disney Plus, as great as it is, it's shot like a film, so you don't really get an idea of what's happening around the focus of that moment in the show. So I would say that watch it on Disney Plus to get a sense of what it is, but come to see what it's like to feel in real time. To be tired, to be anxious, and to be all of these emotions that come with a live performance. It's nothing like it, and it's never the same. It's just never the same for any of us. So you just gotta be in the room where it happens to really get an idea of what it is they built, because it's so to your point, the depth of it is, there's so many dimensions.
It's true, because I
There's so
kind of
many
feel like
dimensions to it.
I'm right there
Yeah.
watching history happen.
Yeah.
If that makes any
Unfolds
sense.
right in front
I
of
mean,
your
it
eyes.
is. I mean,
Yeah.
you have a bunch of people who are from so many different places who are doing. We come together to do this one show.
Yeah.
And the text and the material kind of like bonds us together. But we have nothing really in common besides the fact that we love telling stories, and I think that's what this is all about. That there's a place for all of us. And there's a sense of hope that comes with seeing such a diverse cast, and I think it's a reflection of what the world should be.
Now, you don't want to miss your chance to miss Hamilton live in Singapore.
Yeah.
There is just a couple of days left to the show. We're going for a quick check on traffic and then back with more of Aaron or Dre in just a bit. Chance for you to send in your questions via WhatsApp or as a comment on this Facebook live stream. I want to say good morning to Alun and Susan Tan, who's like, hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
You're making the headphones work, I gotta say.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Let's go.
Maybe you want to think about some words for your fans here in Singapore.
Okay.
We're coming up right after traffic to just say hello to them. And how's the Singapore audience different, actually?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Are they quite different?
They are different. Yes. Are we still live?
We are still live.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. I thought you were telling me that we were about to. Okay. Yes.
Okay,
The Singapore
yes.
audiences
Have a think.
are.
Actually, yeah, hold that thought. I ran out of traffic.
Sorry.
We're back live. Hang on. Be patient as you.
Carol, Lavinia, and Shehzad on 1FM.
Rookie.
Traffic schmaffic.
Oh, good morning to you. Welcome to the Brightside. You're with Carol
Told you,
Shehzad.
stuff like this happens live. It's all good. We don't worry about it.
We're all just winging it on a daily basis, aren't we, Dre?
We truly are. No one
Yeah.
knows what they're doing.
Oh my
no
gosh.
one knows what they're doing.
Such an honor to have you in the studio.
Thank you,
It's
thank you.
DeAundre Woods who plays Hamilton, who plays Aaron Burr in Hamilton the musical. Thanks again. And we're just talking about the audience here in Singapore. You've been with the
Yeah.
tour for about 5 years. How is it different going from country to country?
Oh my gosh, extremely. I've done the show in the States, obviously, in Canada, and now here in Asia. And the one thing I noticed, the one thing I loved, I had a sort of this vocal mishap last year, and I was so scared I wasn't going to be able to do the tour. But then I was playing Aaron Burr, was talking about talk less, smile more, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna portray this thing as if everyone's blind, or if no one understands the language. And that's what's been so fun being here. We're not really concerned about the language. Everyone's just so like captivated by the spectacle of what it is, the anticipation to see the show. And the audiences have been so amazing. Everyone's so kind and so just excited to see the show. So yeah, it's been great. I mean, I don't think we get this much love in the States.
Wow.
So I'm kind of sad to leave. But
Really?
everyone kind of understands and it's oversaturated, right? You don't have as many shows coming through. We have so many Broadway musicals in New York. So I think we underappreciate what it is to do this show. But yeah, they've been excellent. I encourage everyone to come to the show and literally just have a party. It's a good time.
Well, on that note, you guys are ending this run on the
Yeah.
9th of June. So about 10 days or so from now. What would you like to say to those who haven't had a chance to see it yet?
What are you waiting on? I mean, it's like to you, it's everywhere. I'm like looking on the taxis, and I'm like, wow, this is phenomenal to be such a part of something so huge. But I think, yeah, I mean, when are we going to be back to Singapore? I mean, you can travel to Australia where they're headed next to see it, but this cast is so special. It's my last show. I don't know when the next
Yes,
time I'm
right.
going to do
There
Aaron
you
Burr.
go.
So if you would like to see me in this role, and everyone, there's a few other people who are also ending with the show. But yeah, it's one in a lifetime experience. And to your point, people who haven't seen musicals, if you love hip hop, if you love rap, if
Right.
you love the idea of an underdog story, if you love just good theater, and if you want to be moved and inspired, come see this show, because
Yeah.
we are really, we're doing the thing. Like I try to be humble, but we do our thing up there. And
No,
I
you brought
think
so much to the role, Dre. I gotta say, I didn't exactly start off liking the role or character of Aaron at the start.
Yeah.
But towards the end, I'm like, I can see how conflicted he was. And you brought so much passion and energy to the role. Yeah, so
Appreciate that.
thank you so much. It was
Absolutely.
amazing as a result.
As I said, stunning. I don't sit through musicals. I never have, and I don't think I ever will. Having seen Hamilton, that's something I'd actually watch again, like many people have. I would. What I didn't expect was it's musical all the way through.
yeah,
Except
Yeah.
for maybe
nonstop.
one little brief bit, but it's
At the
musical and it's rapping.
Yes.
Right, and I decided not to read up too much about it
Good.
before I went in, just so I'd be completely surprised.
Heck yeah.
And boy, was I surprised!
Yeah.
I loved it. I
It's
really
go,
did.
go, go from start to finish.
It is truly is. I mean, 3
Amazing.
hours, and that's
Yeah.
the whole purpose, is right. It's the momentum of it all. But we
Yeah.
always say it's one big song,
Oh, yeah.
and you don't stop until the very last breath that
Then
Eliza
stop till you
takes.
get enough. And can we get enough of Hamilton? It's going to be here till the 9th of June. So grab your tickets via Marina Bay Sands Ticketing or Systic. Don't miss your chance. Don't throw away your shot.
Do not.
Any last words for your fans here in Singapore?
Thank you so far for all the love that you poured, into to this, and we've loved our time here. Yeah, we just hope to see you before the time is up, and if not, then we hope to be back someday. But yeah, thank you for having us, and it's been such a pleasure, such a joy, and we're so grateful to be here.
All right, Andre, I think you should come out and eat chicken rice with us.
I'm ready.
Yeah?
I love chicken and I love rice. So
All right.
what's up? You speak in my language. I'm from the South, so we know how to eat, and you have great food here. So I'm sorry. I'm just joking that I'm going to miss La Passade. So
Ooh,
maybe now you know where to find me.
He knows the phrase. Okay. Well, wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And
you.
Enjoy the last couple of days with Hamilton here in Singapore.
Appreciate
And we
it.
hope to see more of you in future. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Andre.
much, Mr. Vice President.
Yes, sir.
Good times. Greatest hits. 1FM.